Hello, hello. I'm Julie with Paisleys and Polka Dots, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I put together our little tractor and wagon. So there's lots of layers to it, so I thought maybe it would be easiest to make this quick little video, and hopefully it'll help you put it together. So I'm just going to dive right in with the glue that I use. I typically use the Saleen's tacky glue. It works great because it's thick and it holds the pieces together. But sometimes when you're gluing bigger pieces together like these, it wants to pull apart a little bit as it's drying. So I typically will use little clips like this. I think got these from the dollar store. So I typically use little clips like this, and once I glue it, I can put these little clips on to hold it together, or like clothespins. There's also bigger type clamps like these that I have right here. So they work great for holding the pieces together if they want to pull apart. Typically, I don't have any troubles with the smaller size pieces, but these big ones, sometimes they want to pull apart. But recently, watching some of the other woodworkers out there, came across this brand. It's called Star Bond, and it's thick, the Star Bond thick. And it is like super glue, I guess you might want to call it. So I like using it because it adheres the pieces really quickly together, but you have to be very careful with it in the sense that it is kind of like super glue, so you don't want to get it on your fingers or anything. But it does set up really quick, and it holds it really tight, and I don't have a problem with any of the pieces pulling apart when I use it. So I like to use this on a lot of my bigger pieces, like I said, that want to pull apart. So I'm going to use probably both pieces right now when I go to glue this together. So the tractor itself has 3 different pieces. So you have a front piece, a middle piece, and then this back piece. And they're all 3 going to sandwich together. So I am going to glue this first one, which is your top piece, and I'm going to use the Star Bond. So it does dry clear, but you don't want it squeezing out all your edges. So I kind of put a little bit here and there, and just like this, and then actually put it, and actually I just put glue in the middle of that, and it's only going to glue to these 2 pieces here. So, but I think I'll still be okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and put them together like so. And you're going to want to hold them together for a few seconds just to let it set up. And also, if this glue does set up pretty quickly, so you need to make sure that your positioning is correct, because it's going to grab within probably, it depends upon how much glue you use too, but it grabs quite quickly. I always like to have a paper towel nearby just in case some of the glue. So as you saw, I put too much glue right there in that center part, where I probably should have put it on this piece here. So, but we'll make it work. So that's how that is. I'm going to take some of this off too, because I don't want it dripping onto the other piece. Okay, so then we are going to take this piece and we're going to glue it to this back piece. So I'll put some glue on this middle one instead of the other one this time, so that I'm not getting glue all over. So, and I don't want to put any in this black area right here, because or the gray area, because those are the open parts that show. Okay, so I'll put some a little bit down here, or on this back hinge part. Okay, I got a little bit of glue here too. So like I said, that is one of the reasons that I'm still new to that glue. So you have to be pretty quick with it. Okay, so I'm going to glue the back one together. So I'm going to hold it. Make sure they're all lined up. All 3 pieces are lined up and sandwiched together. Okay. And then squeeze them tightly. And that glue is going to, see, this one isn't setting up quite as quick, which is kind of nice. Okay. And then make sure it stands. Make sure that you have it and it's going to stand. But by the time you get all the wheels on and everything, it becomes quite thick. So you shouldn't have any problem with it standing. Okay, and if it does take a little bit of time, I find depending upon the piece and like I said, how much glue I use, sometimes it takes a little bit longer to set up. And if that's the case, then you can use the clamps to hold it together, just like this. And it'll hold it in place nicely for you. So I can put these on right now. And now I'm going, so this is the back side, this is the front side, or you can use whichever side you want. I did get a little bit of glue right there on the front, so I'll have to probably put a little bit of sandpaper on that and it'll come right off. So next I'm going to glue my wheels on. So you sandwich the front piece, the middle piece, and then the back piece. Okay, and now I'm going to glue on my little tires here, and you're going to want to make sure that they're lined up. They so that you match up the little treads with the underneath part. Okay, so again, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here, like that, and then put these on. Put this on here. And press down firmly. And make sure it's lined up. Just like that. Okay, now if you were using this glue, you might want to, because it's going to take a little bit of time to set up, I would recommend gluing your piece together in stages. So I would glue the 3 middle sections together, and then I would let that dry before moving on to your wheels, because this is all going to want to shift a little bit. And then glue your front wheels on, let those set up and dry, and then flip it over and do your back wheels. Okay, so this piece here, I'm going to go ahead and, well, let me do the smaller wheel first and get the smaller front wheel on. And you can look at it and kind of gauge where it's going to line up before actually putting any glue on your piece. Especially if you're going to use this, you want to know that it's going to set up really quickly. So you're going to want to have your placement right, or know where it's going to go before you put it on your wood piece. So I'm going to hold this down for a few seconds. And like I said, it does set up pretty quickly. It's probably within a minute. I have had it not set up that quickly. But like I said, I think it's just because of how much glue I use. Like I haven't been using the glue for too long, so it's kind of new to me. Okay, and then again, make sure that, you know, it's standing nice and neat as you don't have any problems with it as you keep gluing it together. Okay, so you would glue on the back side the same as you just did. So I'm going to leave those and I'll glue them last so that it makes the video a little bit shorter. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this one on the front and the smaller pieces on. Okay, so let's glue on this one. So I'm going to use the Aleene's Tacky Glue for this. And both of them dry clear, but I think you see the Star Bond glue just a little bit more. It's a little bit more noticeable once it dries. So I like the Aleene's because it dries nice and clear and I don't have any problems with it showing in case it seeps out. So I put a little bit of glue like that. And there is an etched line. I don't know if you can see it on the video here, but there's an etched line on your black tire there. Before you paint it, you'll see it. And that is where you're going to put your little wood piece here. You're going to put it right over that etched line. So glue your 2 pieces on. Glue them onto that etched line. I'll glue on the little one here. I can get my glue to come down. Just some little dabs of glue. You don't need too much. And then there's also an etched line on this one, and I'm going to put it right where the etched line is. And see how that glue just seeped out just a little bit? I don't know if you can see it or not, but that will all dry nice and clear and I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so I'm going to take these off. Let's see if it's glued together. And as the pieces are drying, just make sure that they don't shift. Sometimes the glue will shift a little bit while it's drying, so you don't want that to happen. But it does set up pretty quickly. So I'm going to take this piece. This little piece goes up here on the top edge. And you also have one for the back side. Like I said, this is the tractor is double-sided. So you have, you're going to put wood on both sides of it. But on these little pieces, since I need to make it set up, I'm going to glue the front pieces down, and then I'll wait for these all to set up, and then I'll turn it over and I'll do the backside pieces. But they get glued down the same way that I'm gluing down the front side. Okay, put some glue on that one. And this is the fender. We're going to glue it on like so. Okay, make sure that's all lined up with the top part. Okay, and there you have your little tractor. Isn't it cute? I think it's just adorable. Okay, and I have a fly flying in here, so I hope, hopefully that's not on the video here. So, okay, now let's do the wagon. So the wagon, I'm gonna go ahead and glue these are your little centers of the wagon wheel. I'll put some of these on, the glue on, let them set up a little bit. And the other one. And again, you have, this is a front and a back side as well. So you're gonna have pieces on either side of your wagon. So, and then I'm going to glue those ones to this front part here. So the wagon also is 4 different pieces. So you have a front, a back that I've already painted, and then these 2 center pieces, which I already glued together because I was painting the sides and I wanted to have them together when I painted them. So I glued the 2 middle pieces together already, and then I'm going to glue this to the front. So I think I'm going to use the Star Bond glue again, and a little bit in the center here. Maybe just a little tiny bit up the sides right here. Not too much, because a little bit goes a long way with this glue, and it will squirt out. So I tend to use it sparingly. And again, if anything squirts out the side, just take your little paper towel and wipe it off, okay? And definitely make sure that it's all lined up. You want these to be lined up. So just take a little bit of time to make sure they line up nice and evenly, okay? And that's almost... it's almost set up. And I forgot to paint right there, so I'll have to go back and do that. Sometimes I like to put, when, you know, for the painting of the sides, I'll put on a coat onto the sides of my wood, and then once they're all glued together, I'll put a final coat on just so that it gets in all the little cracks and crevices of the wood on the sides. Okay, and then this is the back piece, so we're going to glue the back piece on. A little bit more glue, and once again, you can use the Aleene's tacky glue. It works great. That's what I've used all along. I just tend to like this new glue because it just sets up so fast. But it is like super glue, so it doesn't have any forgiveness, I guess you might want to say. So now this is going to create the little slot in here where pieces will go into. So the first piece that I've created for, or designed for this to go inside of our wagon here is a cute little snowman for winter. So, and he's going to fit right inside, and the tractor's kind of pulling him. Okay, so see how fast that's set up? And it's going to stay. So again, so I'm just going to stand it up, make sure that it stands good and it's not wobbly. All right, and then I can glue on my wheels here, and it's going to go right over the top here, and then I'll put a little bit of glue on the top. I'm going to use the Aleene's tacky for this one as well. Just in case it seeps out, I don't really want it to show that much. And I'll put it on here. I wipe off any that comes out. And here's my other one. And yeah, I used the Aleene's tacky on that. These little wheel hubs, or whatever you might want to call those little centers, they are already set up for me. And take notice of how you want these little pegs to look. So I think I want to turn this a little bit. I think I want my pegs to be the little holes. I don't want to call them pegs, holes, whatever they are. I think I want them at an angle. I don't want them lined up too much. But however you like it, it's your preference, because it's going to be your little wagon, right? Okay, put some on the top again, and then go around the bottom here. Figure out where you want that, how you want it to look, or where you want, even these, the little stoke parts. You know, it's all a visual appearance. So however you like that, you can put them however you like. Okay. And then I'm going to let, since I'm using the Aleene's, I'm going to let this dry, and then I will flip it over and I will put the wheels on the back sides as well. Okay, so, and I'm going to make sure it stands, which it does. It looks pretty good. And then these little pieces go on the little edges right here. Now, they could be backwards, so each piece fits on. So make sure that they fit, so that the angles are correct. Like this one, the angle is not correct, so it would go on this side, and the other one is for the back. So make sure your little angles line up from the top to the bottom. And I'm going to use the Aleene's tacky glue on this one as well. And if you have a glue that you like, that you prefer to use, by all means, you can use that too. Whatever you feel comfortable using. I've just used this tacky glue for so long that it works great for me, and I enjoy using it. The Star Bond is kind of new, so I'm getting used to that one. Okay, so that was pretty quick and easy to put together. Like I said, when I get all this part sets up, I'll flip it over and I will do the back side. But here is the two pieces together and how it looks. And don't forget that you also have this back piece for the top of the back as well. So you're going to have the same pieces on the front that you do on the back. Just this middle piece is different and gets sandwiched in the center. So this is how the two will be. And I just think they're so cute. I have so many possibilities to make things for inside the tractor. So I'm getting pretty excited of what I'd like to see in there, and maybe what you'd like to see in there. Drop me a comment in the box below, and let me know what maybe you'd like to see inside of it. And I appreciate watching today. Thank you so much, and see you on the next video. Bye-bye.